center, we have a problem. Looks like the gyro has failed, which is an AHRS on the Sandel 3500. So we get a gyro invalid message, and then the compass goes to orange and locks in at north. So that is not good. Okay, so we're going to get to work here in a second. Part 43 of the regs, which deals with owner's maintenance and preventative maintenance. That's a whole list of things that you can do. And one of the things you can do is remove radios from the stack in the panel. But it doesn't talk about removing a box with one connector, and has basically the same amount of screws, so it's no more complicated than pulling. In fact, in some ways it's less complicated than pulling a radio out of the radio stack. Probably the regs need to be changed to allow for this, because most of the airplanes now with the new modern avionics have displays on the panel that you really wouldn't need to remove, because the electronics are all in a avionics bay. So let's get to work. We'll pull that open and pull that box out and put this one back in, and I will have my A&P sign it off to make sure that we're staying legal with the rules. Well, that's a good sign. It came up in the correct heading. Pretty close to it anyway. We have no more attitude or gyro disabled message. Let's see what it does if I switch it over to that. Hey, that works too. Very cool. Now we get to go test fly it, see if it's all working.
I'm Eric Reese. I sell real estate for a living, but I fly and instruct in the Aerostar for fun. Join us on our travel and training adventures in the world's fastest light piston twin.
We'll start the right one first. Boost pump on high. 1 Mississippi 2, Mississippi 3, Mississippi 4, Mississippi 5. It should be enough. Bring the throttle back, and we'll open it about 1/8 of an inch from the point where it starts to bind. Everyone's a little different. Clear right. Nice easy start. Oil pressure's coming up. The hydraulic pressure came up, so we just tested the engine-driven pump. Okay, boost pump to low, we still got pressure. Boost pump off, we still got pressure.
And open information, Tango 2053 to the wind, 2705 good, 11. Visiting 10, static clear for 13,000. Temperature 20, get 112, altimeter 3012. Effective visual approach, 95, runway 34 left, 34 right. Notice airman, ILS runway 16 right, Cat 2 approach is not available. Taxi off 10 holding position, size not standard. Transition weather information available for Western Washington plane service frequencies. But contact information, Tango.
Airplane's got hydraulic steering. I know a lot of people on YouTube will comment, what's that switch for that your thumb's on up here on the left? And it's actually a solenoid operated hydraulic valve that switches left to right with the hydraulic flow that drives the nose wheel steering. And it really makes it nice for going around tight corners and things. Main ground, Aerostar 11111 at West Condos, information Tango, and 34 left at Alpha 7 will be just fine, and we're going to be a southbound departure.
Aerostar 11111, hey, ground roger, you'll share Alpha 7 with a glass air runway 34 left, Alpha 7, taxi out.
Okay, taxi Alpha 7 via Alpha 1 triple. And I can also steer with the console mounted. Not all the airplanes have that, but this is kind of nice, so I can steer this way. And once I'm rolling straight, I don't need to have a lot of power, and I'll just keep the airplane on the center line with a little bit of light differential braking. And for lining up on the center line, it's kind of fun to keep it nailed, and if you take pictures from outside the airplane when you're driving around, if you kind of line up your right knee further on out there with the yellow line, it'll stay right on the line for you. Okay, we were cleared to taxi via Alpha and Alpha 7, and we're in the non-movement area at this point until we get to this red line. We are cleared to taxi to Alpha 7, which we'll go over here and park ourselves so we can do a run-up. Not be in the way, nobody coming or going. So the removal and installation on the Sandel AHRS was pretty easy, very straightforward, with no big deal with it. Really wasn't any more difficult than pulling a box out of the center stack. The entire Aerostar 11111 is ready to go at Alpha 7, 34 left, and we'd like a left downward departure towards Rario, and then we're just going to come back and fly the approach on our own nav.
Aerostar 11111, Baytown, runway 34 left at Alpha 7, clear for takeoff.
Okay, clear for takeoff, 34 left, 111. Alright, boost pumps on, we'll go through that flow. Pitot heat's going to go on, strobes on, and pulse lights are all on, fuel is on. Turbos are kicked in. There's 42 inches of manifold pressure. Temperatures and pressures are in green. Airspeed's alive, 60 knots. 70 knots. 80, lighten the nose a little bit. 95, go ahead and rotate. Touch the brakes. Got some runway left. Alright, gears coming up. Looking for about 110, and I'll bring the flaps up as I accelerate. Flaps coming up. Come back to a cruise climb here at 3522. Now we're just going to fly southbound, left downwind departure towards Rario, and then come back in and shoot a practice approach on our own nav.
Star 111, continue upwind for traffic to your left, entering downwind.
Okay, we'll continue upwind. I do not see the traffic yet. Left turn south approved, 111, we'll climb to 2000, stay there. Desolate Lands, the audio camera died. It's the one that's facing me.
why it did that. And the other camera that was pointed at the instruments, apparently I never got it turned on. So 2 out of the 4 cameras worked. But at least I've got the audio figured out. So the last few times it's been pretty much a pain. Anyway, at this point in time, we had just made the turn on the final approach from Rosario intersection. Prior to that, we had reduced the power down to 25 inches and 2200 RPM. Flaps were at 20, which was giving us about 130 knots at with the gear still up. So inbound on the approach, going through the checklist, I've already gone through it. Gone through the initial checklist first, which is to make sure the fuel's on and the pumps are on, the lights are all on. Okay, we're about 4.7 miles outside of Stop, which is the final approach fix. Just driving along here at 25 inches, 2200 RPM, 130 knots. Everything set itself up really well for that. Flaps are at 20. About a half a knot below the glide slope, so the gear's going to come down, green to green. Make sure she got to go full rich. Power's already gone to 25 inches full forward, and we've come on back to about 16 inches of manifold pressure. So it just gradually slow down about 120 knots and hold it there. If we get a little slow, we'll add some power. If we're fast, we'll put the power back. Flaps 30 and shoot 110 knots. Gear down, check one more time. Now I'm pretty light. I don't have full fuel, and I'm by myself, so I'll be able to fly this a little bit slower than a normal 100 knots, so it'll be about 95. Trimmed out really well, 95 knots, approaching the fence. About 30 feet, gonna pull the power back gently all the way to idle, make a nice smooth landing. And let the nose come down easy. I go put the airplane to bed. And we are done testing and installing the new AHRS. So don't forget, if you like the videos and you want to see more, please subscribe and press the like button and then ring the bell so you get a notification on when the next ones come out.